Hi everyone. So this is my first YouTube video and I have been thinking about it for a while. I plan to do quite a calm introductory video on my philosophies, but then yesterday I watched two videos from YouTubers that I quite enjoy. One was from Bering, and his video was on the insane levels that feminism has got to now. You can't even make it up. You can't make up things as crazy as they're actually coming out with. And the other video was Owen Benjamin's video about what women want. And I just loved that video. The world of feminism as it stands today is just crazy. Bering's absolutely right. It's beyond a joke and frankly embarrassing for most women. And Owen, I love you, Benjamin, was spot on in every point of his video. So it has motivated me to finally just jump in and do it. So instead of a calm intro video, you're going to get a rant. And I'm a little bit sorry about that, but I probably needed the push too. So here we go. I am a woman, and I am so sick to death of the whole feminist movement and constantly being spoken for. So few women in my life think or feel the way men, no, society in general, are constantly being told that we feel. I believe I'm a champion of true equality, which includes the good and the bad. I'm going to be straight from the start. That for me, and I stress for me, equality doesn't mean same. And the simplest way that I can express this is with a medical analogy. So I expect my doctor to treat me with equal respect and thoroughness as he would a person of the opposite biological sex. But I'd be deeply suspicious if he said he needed to do a prostate exam on me. So equal does not equal same. That being said up front, I'm going to lay it out. This is what your average, well, I think I'm an average Australian woman, thinks and wants from society in terms of equality, and I believe the vast majority of women, at least in the Western world, would agree with me on at least a few points. In agreement with Owen's video, I want the men in my life to be happy. Not pandered to, just happy. I want them to live full and satisfying lives and not be belittled by a movement that seems to think that because they're ancestors of the same sex may have had this or that going for them, that they deserve to be punished or brought down a notch. No, I want them to find their own way, be treated equally on their merits and achievements, and be happy. We call that fair go. You know, these men are my family and my friends. They're my loved ones. Any human being who is worth a damn wants their loved ones to be happy, don't they? All right, next point. I want to be able to earn my way into a job. And this is two-pronged. If I decide to go into a traditionally male-dominated area, I expect to have to jump through exactly the same hoops, have all the same skills, meet all the same criteria that any previous newbie has had to do, regardless of the gender I am or what gender those old newbies were. The job is the job, and you have to be able to do the job. That being the case, when I get that job, I expect my male peers to treat me with the same respect they would any other incumbent. Now, this is a real, actual issue faced by women in male-dominated workplaces. It still goes on. There are sexist pigs out there. But you know what? The whole affirmative action thing has made this worse for women in those jobs. Now those jerks who actually do treat women badly have been handed another weapon. Yeah, but you only got the job because you're a girl. No, ass face, I got the job because I've got the qualifications, the experience, and the right attitude, which incidentally you don't have, or you would have got the job. Don't be a jerk. That's what I want. It's not the only reason affirmative action annoys me. I thought life was supposed to be about choice, wasn't it? Hasn't that been the big sell for the last 30 years? You can choose to be whatever you want to be. I'm in the emergency services sector, and there's a big push to get more women in, particularly in the fireys, just like there are in a lot of industries. Now, it's my personal opinion that girls bring a lot to emergency services, and it's actually in the industry's best interest to have more women in. And if women want to sign up, great. They should be told they're welcome and given the opportunity to do so. But don't lower the physical standards for certain roles and don't have quotas to fill. God, quotas. Encourage women that they can do it, provide the opportunities, but don't force it down everyone's throat. Choice, remember? Same goes for the military or any other role like that. Because you know what? Nature, survival, the elements, gravity, bullets, they don't care what sex or gender you are. They don't discriminate, period. And how dare organisations take jobs away from capable blokes who have grown up their entire lives dreaming of being a soldier or a fireman or a copper and give it to a woman who doesn't really want to be there, is only there because she's got some point to prove. The truth is, most women don't want to go into jobs like that. Some do, and I know some tough as nails, strong, determined women who genuinely do want to do those jobs and genuinely are really good at it. But they're not representative of most women, and it bugs me that it's something feminazis just absolutely refuse to acknowledge. On average, in general, as a rule, I know I'm using statistics here, and that's a dirty word when it doesn't work in leftist favour. Men are naturally attracted to some roles and women to others. Sometimes there is some crossover, but it's all about choice. I want choice and opportunity. I don't want to be a token. And I'd take affirmative action theory a lot more seriously if I heard people saying things like, why don't we have more women brickies or garbos? It's just so not right we don't have more girl plumbers, isn't it? No one gives two craps that there are practically no women in those jobs. Why? Because they just aren't sexy, they're hard work, and the pay's not great. And I don't hear any squawking about the underrepresentation of men in teaching and nursing. Now, those industries could definitely benefit from more equal representation. But no, not on the agenda. Could it be because women dominate those areas and they like being in charge and don't see the hypocrisy? Brings me to oppression. Now, as a woman, I've never felt oppressed in any sense of the word. And the harsh reality is, in my opinion, if you have to have your so-called oppression explained to you, there is a really good chance it doesn't actually exist. As a girl growing up in the 80s and 90s, I haven't felt oppressed. I've never had, well, I never thought I've had an opportunity denied to me. I'm not to say it doesn't happen or it hasn't happened in the past, it definitely has. But my general experience and those of people around me isn't that. My grandmothers both were mothers and full-time workers. My mother was and is still a full-time worker. She's very successful and incidentally a tough, strong lady who has never played the gender card. Love you, Mum. My little sisters have never had opportunities denied them either. One became a geologist in the mines and now manages an entirely male workforce, and the other became the CEO of a London-based company at the age of 29. And me, well, I have always out-earned my husband because he's in an industry that, in my opinion again, exploits its incidentally almost entirely male workforce. The gender pay gap. That's an interesting one. I want the ability to earn the same as my male co-workers. Oh, wait, I do. And if I find out I don't, I can sue the company because it's against the bloody law. Okay, then there are those roles where salary and benefits are negotiated. Those are usually the fairly high-ranking ones. Any study that I've read shows that males who have those roles tend to be on a higher wicket than females. Oh, that's bad, isn't it? That word, negotiated, that seems significant. Because there are similar or the same studies that also show that women are less likely to ask for more money. Men go in with lots of bravado and demand their worth. Women undervalue themselves. So let me ask you, ladies, is it men's jobs to fix this, or should we just start taking responsibility for our own confidence? Women will ask for less money because they're afraid they won't get the job if they demand too much. Wrong. If you're right for the role and you've got the chops, you'll get that dosh. Men can't fix that for us. I want women to fix that for themselves. Ladies in Hollywood, if the studios continue to underpay you compared to your male co-stars, why don't you all go on strike? Can't make good theatre without women. Trust me, that just hasn't been satisfying since the Stewart era. So chop chop. Start putting your chances of getting another Hollywood role where your mouth is. What do I want? I want people to acknowledge and celebrate the differences. There are things blokes are generally better at than women, and there are some things that women are better at than guys. Not all women, not all guys. Gotta stress that. Like, I'm a biological woman, and I'm spectacularly shit at a lot of things that most women find easy. I find it really annoying and hypocritical when women are willing to shout out to the world that women are great at this and they're super mums and they can do everything and they're better than men at every opportunity. But men aren't allowed to be better than women at anything. Sorry, fembots, reality isn't going to fall for your fantasies. This is everywhere I look. I can't tell you how much this one annoys me. On TV ads and in shows, I want it to stop. Men are almost always represented as stupid and incompetent, and women are the brainy ones or the problem solvers or they're just perfect at everything. But if someone dares to air some kind of ad that reverses the roles, it is immediately shut down and surrounded by hysteria. Here's a piece of news. Many people are stupid. Men are stupid. Women are stupid. We're all equally capable of being stupid. Equally. Remember? When I said the good with the bad? Yeah, that's the bad, girls. We can be dumb. And I want the world to start recognising that. And stop belittling men to make women feel better. It's a false economy. Oh, yeah, and I want the world to stop pretending that the word feminist actually means the fight for equality of the sexes. No, it doesn't. Because if it did, feminists wouldn't be so quick to shut down any kind of highlighting of men's issues like men's health or suicide rates or workplace death rates and domestic violence against men. It's been my observation that any time any of these serious issues are raised, it immediately turns into a pissing competition. Sometimes there is a grudging recognition that, yes, that particular phenomenon exists, but this or that woman's issue is so much more worse and we really need to focus on that. Yeah, women's issues exist too, and some of them are awful and need addressing. But what, the solution is we just prioritise all the issues and never get to the bottom of the pile? I'm sure the farmer who just blew his brains out, I'm sure his family will understand that line of reasoning. Remember when I said any half decent human being cares about people near and dear to them? That means caring about their issues and the problems they're facing. Just because you don't think it's huge and it doesn't impact you, it doesn't mean it's not an issue. You know, my kids are always coming to me with problems. One child might be having a really serious issue, and the other one might be having something that's comparatively smaller or less important. I still have to deal with both issues. I want people to be able to tell dirty jokes. I want the ability to tell a joke when it's appropriate, and I want the ability to tell someone, male or female, to put a cork in it when they're doing so in an inappropriate setting. Something I do regularly, by the way. Because believe me, women can be plenty dirty and rude jokes are funny. Sex is a shared universal human experience. Dirty jokes aren't always sexual harassment. You know, it's all right if a girl does it, but if a guy does it, it's sexual harassment. Uh, on that, sexual harassment. Harvey Weinstein. Every male celebrity now ever is getting complaints coming out of the woodwork from sexual harassment. And that really makes me angry because, you know, you've got the Harvey Weinstein end of the scale, and then you've got the dirty jokes end of the scale. Well, let me tell you something. I want all men to stop being blamed for the dirty perverts in the world. Yep, there are a lot of them, but certainly not the entire male sex. I grew up in Western Sydney and would often catch the train home. And as a very young woman, I had not one but two instances where some gross man started basically pleasuring himself at me on the train. And in both cases, they were some dirty, dero, weirdo looking perv. It wasn't the average tradie on his way home with his lunchbox or the bloke in the suit with his earplugs in trying to read a book. They were weirdos. They were anomalies. And when I called for help or tried to put a stop to it, I'll let you guess who helped me out. It wasn't the ladies. Most men in my life are decent, just human beings. Flawed in many ways, as we all are, but good men. And I want the world to recognise that. I could go on and on and on and on, but I'll leave it here. What the hell is so wrong with just wanting actual equality and, above all, mutual respect? That's what I want.